Welcome class 12th. In our previous classes, we was discussing about methods of expressing concentration. Few methods I had already explained to you, and few are left that I will explain in today's discussion. But before I move forward, let us take a quick review of a previous episode. What is the meaning of concentration and how they can be expressed? Concentration of a solution means amount of solute that is present in given amount of solvent or in given amount of solution or in per unit volume of solution or per unit amount of solvent. So, amount of solute that is used to make a definite amount of solution is called its concentration. Concentration of a solution can be expressed in terms of percentage concentration. That means out of 100 parts of solution, how many parts of solute is present? Say for example, we say 5%. That means what? If 100 parts of solution is taken, 5 parts solute is present. Now this percentage concentration could be weight by weight percent, could be volume by volume percent, or could be weight by volume percent. Say for example, we say 6% volume by volume. That means if we have taken 100 ml of solution, 6 ml solute is present and 94 ml solvent is present. We say 25% weight by weight. That means out of every 100 grams of solution that we taken, 25 grams of solute is present and 75 grams of solvent is present. Then next we come to the strength. Strength of a solution represents number of grams of solute that is present per liter of solution. So, grams per liter is the strength of a solution. Then we have molarity, number of moles of solute present per liter of solution. Molality, number of moles of solute present per kilogram of solvent. So here is a point of difference that in molarity it is volume of solution that is considered, and in molality it is the weight of solvent that is considered. Now up to this I had already discussed. Today we will discuss mole fraction, parts per million, mass fraction, normality, and some examples to understand it in a better way. So let us consider mole fraction. Mole fraction of a solution is ratio of moles of component to total number of moles of all components present in solution. Say for example, this is a solution that is made by two components, a component A and component B. Number of moles of component A is represented by Na and number of moles of component B is represented by Nb. Then mole fraction of A is given by Na divided by Na plus Nb. So ratio of number of moles of component, mole fraction of any component is equal to the ratio of number of moles of that component to the total number of moles that are present in that solution. Similarly, mole fraction of B is given by NB divided by Na plus Nb. So mole fraction of B is given by number of moles of component B divided by total number of moles of component A plus B, while mole fraction of A is given by Na divided by Na plus Nb. So if we are talking about binary solutions where there are only two components present, if there is a third component C is also present with the number of moles Nc, then mole fraction of A is given by Na plus Nb plus Nc. Or similarly, number of mole fraction of component B is given by moles of B divided by Na plus Nb plus Nc. So it is the ratio of moles of component of total numbers of moles of all components that are present in the solution. And it is evident that Xa plus Xb is given by Na divided by Na plus Nb plus Nb divided by Na plus Nb, and that will come equal to 1. So the sum of mole fractions of all components that are present in any given solution is equal to 1. And as I told you in the in the very beginning, that as per as syllabus of class 12th is concerned, or it is concerned with the various competitive exams, we largely means a binary solution. That means a solution which is made up of two components. So mole fraction is defined as the ratio of moles of component to the total number of moles of all components that are present in solution. For example, this solution is made by mixing two components, a component A, a component B. Then the mole fraction of A is given by moles of A divided by moles of A plus moles of B. And mole fraction is also a temperature independent unit. Moles doesn't changes with the change in temperature. Now we come to the next method for expressing concentration. This is called ppm, or parts per million. Parts per million. So this is simple to understand. In the similar way as percentage refers the amount present or the part present in every 100, in the similar way parts per million represent parts present per million parts of solution. So parts per million represents the amount of solute that is present in 1 million parts of solution. Parts per million, or the parts of solute that is present in 10 to the power 6 parts of solution. Now the one thing is to be kept in the mind that this unit is mainly used when amount of solution is very high and amount of solute present is very less. Say for example, we want to tell the amount of sulfur dioxide present in the atmosphere. You know that sulfur dioxide or these SPM, suspended particulate matter, or there are many other gases which are pollutants. So if we need to express the amount of these pollutants which is present in atmosphere, then the volume of atmosphere is very high and their amounts that are present in the atmosphere is very less. So to express it, we use this unit, parts per million. Now let us take another example. If we want to express the concentration of mercury ions in the water of a river, amount of arsenic present in river water, so we need this unit. So this unit is mainly used in those conditions where amount of solution is very high, rather very high, but amount of solute present is very small, very less. So ppm is given by weight of solute divided by weight of solution into 10 to the power 6. Now next unit that is used for expressing concentration is called mass fraction. Now to understand mass fraction, let us consider a solution made by mixing these two components A and component B. So weight of A is represented by WA and weight of B is represented by WA. Then mass fraction of A is given by WA divided by WA plus WB. So it is the ratio of mass of component to the total mass of the solution present in the total mass of solution. So this is mass fraction. So by the time I had explained you about percentage, strength, molarity, molality, mole fraction, parts per million, and of course this mass fraction. Now I will tell you one very important unit for expressing concentration, that is called normality. Although description of normality is not there in our NCERT book. So as far as CBSE course is concerned, it is less relevant. But of course, problems related with normality are asked in most of the competitive exams. So keeping in the mind of that, I am telling you something about normality also. But before we go to the details of normality, one should know the meaning of equivalent weight and gram equivalents. So first I will tell you about equivalent weight. Then we should learn gram equivalents. Then we learn about normality. Now, the concept of equivalent weights is comparatively old concept. It was more frequently used when the people was not handy with mole concept, or when mole concept was not properly defined. Although with the advent of mole concept of equivalent weights has been abandoned to great extent. Equivalent means which is when two equal things are equal. Say for example, you need 20 rupees to buy this marker. So this marker is equivalent to 20 rupees, or 20 rupees are equivalent to this marker. Simple. In the similar way, in the concept of equivalent weights, weight of any substance is compared with a standard weight of any other thing, and the amount of one substance which is required to react with that standard weight is equivalent with each other. So that is how the weights of these substances are taken as equivalent weights. Say for example, in order to react, this is a substance A and this is a substance B. 10 grams of A requires 20 grams of B. So for the purpose of a chemical reaction, 10 gram of A is equivalent to 20 grams of B. So this ratio is equivalent. Now, for the determination of equivalent weights, mass of any compound or element that reacts with 1.008 parts of hydrogen, 8 parts of oxygen, or 35.5 parts of chlorine is called its equivalent weight. Means the weight of any element or any compound which is required to react 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen, or 8 parts by mass of oxygen, or 35.5 parts of chlorine is called as its equivalent weight. Why these three elements are taken as standard? Because most of the element either reacts to all of them or at least one of them. So hydrogen, oxygen and chlorine is taken as standard, and the weight of any substance or compound or element that is required to react with these standard weights of hydrogen, oxygen and chlorine is called its equivalent weight. Let's make it more simple. Say for example, when hydrogen and water they combine to hydrogen and oxygen they combine to form water. This is the formula of H2O, where 2 gram of hydrogen reacts with 16 grams of oxygen. So 1 gram of hydrogen reacts with 8 grams. So 8 grams of oxygen is equivalent to 1 gram of hydrogen. So equivalent weight of oxygen is 8 and equivalent weight of hydrogen is 1. Now let us see this H2SO4 reacts with sodium to give you hydrogen gas. So sulfuric acid, 98 grams of sulfuric acid produces 2 grams of sulfuric acid, 2 grams of hydrogen is produced by 98 grams of sulfuric acid. So 1 gram of hydrogen is produced by 49 grams of sulfuric acid. So 49 grams of sulfuric acid is equivalent to 1.008 grams of hydrogen. So the equivalent weight of sulfuric acid is 49. Now, for the determination of equivalent weights, two weights are compared. So, equivalent weight is simply a ratio that doesn't have got any unit. 1.008 grams of hydrogen reacts with 49 grams of sulfuric acid. So, gram divided by gram is cancelled out. It is simply a ratio. There is no unit. When weight of any substance taken in grams equal to its weight of any substance taken in grams equal to its equivalent weight, it is called as 1 gram equivalent. Say for example, equivalent weight of sulfuric acid you determined 49. So if we take 49 grams of sulfuric acid, then this is equal to 1 gram equivalent of sulfuric acid. So if we take grams equal to equivalent weight, it is equal to 1 gram equivalent. So if we take 1 gram, then number of gram equivalents is given by 1 divided by equivalent weight. Or if we take W grams of any substance, then W upon equivalent weight gives the number of gram equivalents. So this was the preface required to understand normality. Equivalent weight of any substance is defined as its weight that is required to react 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen to react or to replace 8 parts by mass of oxygen or 35.5 parts by mass of chlorine. And since equivalent weight is a comparison between two weights, weight of that substance to the weight of hydrogen or oxygen or chlorine. Hence, it is unitless. Weight of any substance taken in grams equal to its equivalent weight, then that value is called 1 gram equivalent, and it is determined by dividing weight of substance by equivalent weight. Now, normality of a solution is defined as number of gram equivalents of solute present per liter of solution. So normality N is given by gram equivalents of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. Now gram equivalents are given by weight divided by equivalent weight into 1 upon volume in liters, and as I told that liter is a very big unit, and in general we don't use liters for routine calculations. So N is given by small w upon E into 1000 upon V in milliliters. So that is how normality of a solution is calculated. So if 1 gram equivalent is dissolved in 1 liter of solution, then normality of solution is 1, and this is called N solution or normal solution. Similarly, if 2 gram equivalents are present, then volume of solution in 1 liter, then it is called a binormal or 2N solution. If 1 by 10 gram equivalents are present, then it is called N by 10 solution or decinormal solution. Or semi-normal means half gram equivalent is present in 1 liter of solution. So these are the some methods for expressing concentration of a solution. I had given a worksheet for these on the basis of, to be solved on the basis of these concepts. I request all of you to solve it and send it back to me. Thank you.